Every blank time, it's the same blank thing. We know that's frustration.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you, but of course, as you know around here, Wednesday is not just the middle of the week. It's not just another day. Frankly, Dana, you know what it is.
It's hump day.
Yes, indeed it is. It's worth the price of admission, even if you don't have a computer, to be able to go on with WJR.com or our Facebook page just to see her announce that it is hump day. It is the 13th day of 2021. There are 352 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. The team is here. Marie Osborne with our news. Dana Clark with our hump day announcement, traffic and weather, and whatever else is going on, like all of us. Of course, Brian Morton is pressing all the right buttons from the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. And I can tell that my wife, Kim, has been up way too long when I see the number of stories online to get through to be able to talk about throughout this morning, and keeping track of everything in spite of all of us. I mean, along with all of us, our executive producer, Ann Thomas. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I don't know why, but I will be, well, I think I know why, but I will be especially happy when this week is over.
Yes.
Especially happy.
Yes.
I'll be especially happy when the 20th has come and gone and we have successfully moved on with a new administration. And then maybe we can start to move on with everything else that we have to move on with. But I think we're stuck in the midst of what will happen today, which will happen. I don't know exactly what it will mean, but today the president will be impeached. Is that correct? It will happen today. They already know they have enough votes. It's in the House. The House had enough votes before he was elected. I mean, they know that it's going to happen today. Then what happens? Anybody?
Well, it's a complicated process after that. So if I understand correctly, it's 24 hours that Mike Pence has that he can invoke the 25th Amendment. Mike Pence has already said he's not interested in doing that. He will not be doing that. Yeah. And so then they will move forward. And, you know, now there are more Republicans joining the ranks of being for this impeachment, including Liz Cheney. Of course, she's the third highest ranking person on the Republican side to join the Democrats and trying to push this through.
So we get through the House, and we know that there's enough, even if not one Republican went with it, there's enough with Democrats to go with it, I guess. But then it has to be decided by the Senate. Right. And now there are more Republicans than ever that will go along with it with the Senate. And now Mitch McConnell is all for it. That's the biggest name, I think, that we are aware of. So can they get all of this? You know, it kind of reminds me, I couldn't come up with the right analogy. It's kind of like a guy being in a coma and trying to revive him before he dies so you can put him to death in prison. So, I mean, can they get all this done by, isn't it the 20th that it has to be done? Or is it something that we can carry this misery into the period of time of the new administration, when it should be the honeymoon for the new administration, getting things done? Is the national media going to be concentrating on further punishing President Trump? I haven't figured all that out yet. You can still...
well, this can go on January 20th in terms of the...
I can't understand Marie, so I don't
Every
know what...
president wants that first 100.
Can everybody hear Marie?
Agenda. And this will definitely be stepping on that for Biden. But it can continue after January 20th.
So you can continue this process even when a guy is not president any longer. So,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll be sitting along the sidelines and following that, and we're following the vendetta, or rather the attack of Governor Snyder. As we know by now, Governor Snyder to be charged in the Flint thing. They're going for their pound of flesh there. We'll see how that turns out. Let's see what after all of that time and money, we'll see what the new investigation has found and see if that's all worth it. Yes, there's plenty to do, my friends. And again, I'll be very happy when this week and next, now, as it turns out, will be over. It is 5:43 on this Wednesday morning.
This report is sponsored by Michelin Endurance Silicone Wiper Blades. Upgrade to the wiper blades trusted by Rainer Zietlow to break world records. Michelin Endurance XT Silicone Wiper Blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance that lasts 2 times longer than any other blade. The new Michelin Endurance XT Silicone Wiper Blades, only available at Walmart.
And let's check it. We've got it right here. We've got Dana Clark, and we've got our WJR traffic and weather first. Dana?
Traffic First, sponsored by Operating Engineers 324. Operating Engineers 324 run the heavy equipment that's building Michigan's roads. Remember to slow down, pay attention in work zones for the workers' safety and yours. OE 324, we build, we operate, we maintain. Visit OE324.org. We do have a closure this morning. It's in Saline, Michigan Avenue, both directions. Eastbound and westbound between Campbell Road and Platt Road closed there due to an accident. BMIS can be used instead. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Gordon Chevrolet sign and drive leases starting under $200 on select vehicles, 0% up to 84 months plus bonus cash. 3 payments up to $1,000 waived on select vehicles. Ford Road just west of Merriman in Garden City. GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads.
Clouds, wind, and we're precipitation free here next couple of days. Temperatures almost 10 degrees above average. Mostly cloudy this morning, mostly cloudy this afternoon. High 41 with a 10 to 20 mile per hour southwest breeze. Tonight, cloudy 31, 20 suburbs. Tomorrow, cloudy, low 40s. Chance of rain and snow on Friday with highs in the upper 30s. From a Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on News Talk 760 WJR.
I think it's a bad day for internet connections all across the board. So we'll all just have to hang in there till we get through all of this. It's just the way it is. It's the new technology that if we did it as poorly as the new technology has done it, we'd all lose our jobs. But we're here, and the people who gave us the new technology and cell phones and the internet are still working and laughing. Be that as it may, let's check in with Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3, Monday through Friday, and at 5:45 right here on WJR.
An 8th grade student in New York City has written an op-ed in the New York Times that I cannot believe they ran. 13-year-old Veronique Mintz says that she's learning more with distance learning, like at home, than she did when her school was open. Now, she says that before the coronavirus lockdown, she had to put up with other students talking out of turn every day. They destroyed classroom materials, openly disrespected the teachers. They blurted out answers during tests. She says that other students regularly pushed and kicked and hit each other. And that was life in her middle school every single day. Now, she wrote about the problems with so-called collaborative learning, which she says accounts for 80% of classroom work in her school. It's done in groups. Dedicated students have to try to make the unmotivated kids finish assignments and behave. But distance learning has allowed Ms. Mintz to take control of her own studies. She can now focus on her work and is not being held back by the losers. Ms. Mintz, I want to thank you. You have single-handedly explained why so many parents in New York and in other blue cities want school choice. They want a say in where they send their kids to school so they won't have to put up with what you've been forced to put up with every day until the coronavirus saved you. How about that?
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
All righty.
I just put something on our thing here. I did a little looking here while we were in break about what happens if Trump or any president is already gone from office, and what the impeachment process means after that. So there's just a little bit of info right there.
Has it
that.
ever happened before?
I don't believe that's ever happened. I don't believe that's ever happened.
Has the president ever been impeached twice? Is that
that would
definitely
be the first.
too?
Yeah, that would be the
Definitely,
first.
that definitely has not happened. Yep.
Well,
So a lot of firsts here.
in our business as news men and women and producers, we really do like when there's a lot of news. But I have to say, this is over the top.
Remember how many times have I said, "Ooh, this is a good day for talk radio." I wish it was not.
I know.
Because I love our country more than I love talk radio.
I nearly fell over last night when I saw the charges that would be coming for the former governor and some of his staff. I mean, there is just one thing after another.
I suspect that's never happened either. Grabbing out at a governor who's been out of office for a long time and deciding that there are charges important enough to go through. But it's because we live in a everybody makes sure we get a pound of flesh from everybody. We have to find fault. And let's face it, unfortunately, Governor Snyder wasn't politically savvy enough to handle what took place there in Flint. Because I'll tell you what, had he just held up that horrible looking water, remember the water we all saw, and the experts said, "Well, yeah, but it's safe to drink." If he were politically savvy, no matter what, he would have held up that in a press conference and said, "The experts tell me that this is safe to drink, but not on my watch," and then done nothing different. He would have at least won the day at that point to say he wasn't accepting that for Flint or any other city as governor, he was going to accept that cloudy brown water was good enough to drink, no matter what the experts told him. That would have been the politically smart thing to do. What still bothers me about this whole thing is there were people in the water department there in Flint that had dealt with the change to use river water before, because they had done it before. And they apparently treated the water properly before to do that. Where's the question about the people who were working in the water department who, by nature of their job, would have known to treat the water coming in from the river differently than the water that they had coming in before? And in the past, they had treated it. Why didn't they treat it this time just as a normal course of doing business?
It is all about that treatment. It's all about that treatment.
Paul W. Smith Show.
And not doing it. I contend that I doubt that the governor had any clue as to what treatment was necessary for water coming out of a water department. That would be something the water department people would be aware of. So the whole thing has been very confusing. Unfortunately, the attack here, like I say, let's wait and find out what they really have and what it really can lead to, so that it isn't just appearing to be a political witch hunt. That's all. We continue on this Wednesday, or as Dana would say, hump day.
Yeah, that was fair. That was really good, actually.
You should go on, since this is apparently up throughout the day, this early morning, first 45 minutes of the show online. Have you gone back and looked at yourself when you do that?
I watch every day.
Oh, you do? Okay, I've never gone back to look at this thing. Maybe
it's funny to me.
Well, it is. It is funny. Just as long as you're not in pain, because the first few times I saw you do it, she's hurting herself.
Right.
I don't want her to hurt herself.
I need a brace.
Well, today, if today is January 13th, and I have every reason to believe it is National Peach Melba Day.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that? Wow.
Peach Melba is a classic dessert.
It is?
A dish of peaches served with vanilla ice cream, raspberries, and sauce. Have you not had that, peach Melba?
No, just peach cobbler. No peach Melba.
Even I, growing up in Monroe, Michigan, I've had peach Melba.
I've had peaches and ice cream, but the
Well, you're on your way to peach Melba then. Everything got a name. We probably called it peaches and ice cream when I was growing up. It was to celebrate famous and rather slender opera singer Nellie Melba in 1892. Wow, I never heard this at all. Other versions of this dessert use pears, apricots, or strawberries instead of peaches, and or use raspberry sauce or melted red currant jelly instead of raspberry puree. Melba toast and peach Melba are all related. Has anyone seen Melba toast lately? Not exactly hanging around the house. Honey, could you make me a sandwich with that Melba toast? I just feel like a Melba toast sandwich. Not how I'd like my grilled cheese. And oh, do I like grilled cheese. Not very often, haven't done it. When was the last time anyone had a grilled cheese and a cup of tomato soup?
Long time.
sounds
Ultimate
wonderful, though.
Very long time.
Ultimate comfort food.
Yeah.
I think the entire state of Michigan, no, the entire country of these
Needs
United
some.
States
Yes.
should all sit down and have a grilled cheese sandwich and a cup of tomato soup.
It could make a big difference, Dub.
That's what
I'm with you.
we need.
hmm
It is what we need. What else? Anybody have anything they brought to the table other than all
Well,
the
you were
little things
talking-
that I had that are wonderful?
You were talking about how busy the news day is. Don't forget, we're expecting today to hear from the governor, I guess, about whether or not these restaurants maybe will be able to open on February 1st. That's a huge thing. People have just been on the edge of their seats over that.
Yes, you're
I
right.
keep hearing like different reports of what's going to happen. There's one faction, I think, of restaurant owners, bar owners, one association saying, oh, no, we are opening by February 1st or February 15th. I've heard two different dates. And then other people saying, well, we're pretty sure the governor is going to extend it. I mean, I don't know. Everything's like turning on a dime. You've got Cuomo in New York acting like he never said things should be shut down. He's going, we can't have things shut down. We're losing businesses. We're going out of business and we can't keep things shut down. What? You're the guy that helped him lose 6,000 restaurants in New York. Now something's changed. We have our governor saying, well, I really think kids should be back in school. Well, I think a lot of people felt that for a long time. I don't know what flipped the switch, but does it appear that switches are being flipped?
Yes, it does.
Every day.
And we were told by I don't know what else I can call Fauci, Sir Fauci. We were told that January will be the worst month ever for the coronavirus. And yet we're saying, well, I don't know why these places are closed. Let's open them up. I don't know why kids aren't going to school. Let's send them to school. Well, there's got to be like one story. I think it would be helpful if we had one story and we stuck by it at this point. I don't know. It just seems strange to me.
Well, I do think part of it is, at least some of it is, that the numbers are constantly changing. And so, when they go high, then everybody worries and panics and they do certain things. And then when they go low, they start to think, okay, well, maybe we can open things back up again. And then they open things back up again. And then the numbers shoot back up. Part of it is that this coronavirus is so contagious and it's hard to get a handle on it.
It is indeed. And we just had a meeting over the phone with Charlie Kroll. Gosh, I don't know how these people can survive. The cruise and tour people, the people that run our WJR, what do we call it? The travel club, the WJRtravelclub.com. We still believe we're going in May on the river cruise that was last year. And yet I don't feel overly confident that everything's going to be opened up by then. I don't know. I can't imagine what it is like to be running a business that depends on activity, like all businesses, and be stuck in this vortex for over a year now.
Very tough.
Of not being able to do things. I don't know how people are surviving. I know a lot of people aren't. And we hope and pray that those that have so far can continue to. 557 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Michelin Endurance Silicone Wiper Blades. Upgrade to the wiper blades trusted by Rainer Zietlow to break world records. Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance that lasts 2 times longer than any other blade. The new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades, only available at Walmart.
And we're checking it, our WJR traffic and weather first. And Miss Dana Clark.
Still watching that closure, Paul W. It's in Saline, Michigan, both directions, eastbound and westbound between Campbell Road and Platte Road. Closed there due to an accident. You can take Bemis Road instead. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Reorganize your business with Shelving.com's variety of storage products, from transportable in-plant offices to mezzanines that maximize floor space. They're stocked Unirack pallet racking, also ships within 48 hours. Equip your business with the storage it needs with Shelving.com. Shelving.com, we rack your world. It's going to be overcast today. Temps are still chilly, hitting a nice, comfortable 42. Still cold, but above high for this time of year, that temp. Tonight, cloudy skies, low 32. For Thursday, mix of clouds and sun, and a high of 40. Cloudy, 31 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in 2 minutes.
I'll take 40. That's better.
Yeah.
Hey, Dub.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been watching, because your mom is very good on Facebook, I've been watching her vaccine journey.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy. You know, she's 94, right? She should have been the first in line.
94 years old.
To get that
Still
thing.
has to wait. What
Well,
has
first
to
of all,
It's ridiculous what she's going through.
under pressure of there was a lot of pressure on the governor, right? Because all the facts were coming out and saying that, wait a second, Michigan has all this vaccine and they're not getting it into people's arms.
Right.
Mhm.
So they had a big press conference and they said, well, I think it's time to go to phase 2, because they were being pressured. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. And there was an ill-advised idea to open it up to everyone 65 or older. That was a mistake. The Mayor Duggan will be with us later. He said in the city of Detroit, they're starting at 75
Right.
and older.
And even then, they don't have enough.
Right. So that's really, I mean, even if they said for 1 week, 85 and older, then 75 and older, and then 65 and older, but you open it up at 65 and older like that, and the floodgates have blown open, and nobody has the vaccine.
You know,
It's a terrible situation.
It's ridiculous. The poor thing is on the phone. She's so sharp. She's very aggressive. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she has it planned out every day how she's going to get on the phone in the morning.
Right.
No, figure it out.
And I told her to keep getting on the phone, even when they say, well, call Thursday. No, mother, call tomorrow, and call the next day, call the next day. And even then, I don't know. And I'm trying to make it happen. And there's one point where we thought we could, but that it involved a lot of driving, and she doesn't ride in the car well right now. She's got some sciatica. So the angel of the family, Bernie, who lives a block from her, took her to get some other shots, and it was like a less than 10-minute drive, and my mother was in excruciating pain.
Oh my gosh.
She had trouble getting up the stairs to get back into the house, and when you get where she is, you got to put her in a wheelchair. You can't let her use her walker. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So there was talk of getting her up to Detroit at one point, but we're now still doing the Monroe thing just because we don't think she could easily make the trip back and forth from Detroit. And who knows what the latest rules and regulations are. This is a time when you wish you worked at a hospital, and thankfully I did, but you wish you worked at a hospital because that's the first foot in the door at this point.
And here's a question. Do you have to be vaccinated in the county in which you live? So, for example, would she have to be vaccinated in Monroe?
That is not clear. That is part of the issue here. That
Yeah,
it's
Mike dug in that. Maybe Mike would know.
well, I think he has stated. I think Mike's been around a long time. I believe he has stated you have to be a Detroit resident. I think he meant city as opposed to Wayne County.
Mm.
I mean, here in Grosse Pointe is Wayne County, so but I think he means the city of Detroit.
I have heard of other people, though, being vaccinated at their workplaces.
Oh,
So,
okay.
well, medical workplaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
So-
you're in anywhere related to the medical industry, you've had a leg up just by being there.
Mhm.
So if you're nearby and they're doing, if you bring someone in to get their shot,
I saw that.
you have a, yeah, you know, there's all kinds of circumstances and situations, and it's uncomfortable, and I don't know why starting from states weren't more ready with a plan when they had 9 months or so to get ready for the day. You know, somebody had to say, boy, we need vaccinations and vaccines, but we better plan on when we do get them, how we're going to do it. But it's been kind of not that way. So I'm not sure what's going to happen or how. It just isn't as comfortable as it should be. Quick note here. Apparently, you know, Mary Barra, and this has happened the last few years, that somebody from the auto industry, as the Consumer Electronics Show has cut into auto shows, and there are fewer auto shows, and we got more information on the North American International Auto Show pausing for 2021, coming up in just a few minutes, the CEO of the M1 Concourse and what the actual plan is of what they're going to be doing. But so Mary Barra was the keynote speaker. I think that's already taken place.
I think so, too.
I think she was the opening
Yes.
at CES 2021, which is virtual instead of going to Vegas. And GM apparently all in with air taxis and electric vehicles galore, says the headline here. So GM has taken a real shot. Mary has taken a real shot at the newest technology and the new GM. You saw they have a new logo,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
which is kind of like a G, and then the M is like a plug
Yes.
for all the electric vehicles that they're planning on. So
Yeah,
that's going to
very
be very
cool.
big. It's going to be
So tell me about
very
the
important
taxis.
for Detroit.
Tell us
Sorry?
about the air taxis. How would that work?
I
That's cool.
don't really know. I've heard a lot about air taxis, and we heard about it with Uber, and we heard about, is Uber still around?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
They had to talk about a tough business because nobody. I know that actually Natalie has Ubered a lot. Our daughter at
So have
Michigan,
Yeah, ours have too.
but they haven't lately
Right.
because of the virus. So, and I'm just wondering how that's affected their business.
Gotta
So
be down.
here's this way down. Air taxis, which is a more accurate name than flying cars, because that's what we used to think of as flying cars.
Like the Jetsons.
Somewhere along the way, right, the Jetsons, that's what we grew up with. That's what we thought long ago we would all be doing. I was really looking forward to having a flying car. But anyway, they're not going to let me have a flying car
Oh,
because there's going to be an air taxi now.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you, where, of course, it's not just Wednesday. It's not just the middle of the week, Dana. It's,
Hump day.
you know, there's a new twist to everything with the internet cutting in and out. There was a nice little pause in between. Hump day? So it's different every day. I love that. Or every Wednesday. It is indeed Hump Day, the 13th of January, 13th day of 2021. 352 days left in the year to get it right. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And you're now, if you had made a promise to yourself, what we used to call them their New Year's resolutions.
Mhm.
If you made one and you're still sticking to it, you are alone. if I said take one step forward, there'd be no steps forward because by now, unfortunately, those resolutions have pretty much fallen by the wayside. I still have not done mine. Still have not. It's not like I started it and stopped.
Mhm.
And mine's the same every year. It's like, I always felt that if I wrote things down on my legal pad,
Mhm.
I would follow them better and we'd be okay. And then I found a drawer of old legal pads and noticed that the same 10 items are listed on every legal pad over the last 20 years.
Oh.
I'm going to get to these things. I really am.
You
I'm going to
promise.
get more sleep than 3.5, 4 hours sleep. I'm going to eat less eventually. I'm going to exercise a little, maybe. So,
Start with the sleep.
I think
If we could just get that one.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is stop buying legal pads
Yeah.
because I've wasted a lot of money on legal pads that all say the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got Marie Osborne. Thank you for the news, and we appreciate that. Riri, Dana Clark, traffic weather, and then some. Brian Morton pressing all the right buttons and not missing us a bit, which is kind of sad. But although he can't wear the T-shirt, I'm with stupid, with two fingers pointing in two different directions. It's worthless. He's by himself in there, and I know he's lonely and deep down, even though he won't say it.
He misses us.
He misses us. Yeah,
He misses us.
Kim is doing everything that she just does, puts together in the morning and throughout the day, helping me and my work wife, Ann Thomas, our executive producer.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Wednesday.
Good morning, Annie. Well, we were talking about Mary Barra making a splash, and this goes back to, I think, I don't know this, but I think Alan Mullally was the first car guy to be asked to speak at the Consumer Electronics Show. Does anyone know this for a fact? I know he did.
It
But I
sounds
think
about right, though. That sounds
I think
right.
it was like a turning point where they openly started going after our auto show and auto shows in general. And they have made an impact because you'll see cars at the Consumer Electronics Show when they actually have one. So we were talking about air taxis, a more accurate name. This is GM is all in on air taxis and EVs, everything electric, etc. More accurate to call it an air taxi than flying cars. They're always a hot topic at CES. While the technology and infrastructure might still be years away, if it ever reaches fruition, there's something about these personal aircraft that has CES attendees and fans enthralled every year. It's because a lot of these people grew up like we did with the Jetsons. I just made that up. They didn't say that. But General Motors made its first foray into electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles by way of its Cadillac luxury division. The vehicle lacks a name, and it's just a rendering for now, but the automaker showed off a virtual version of a single-seat personal aircraft meant to skip traffic by zipping from building to building above all of the hullabaloo. Now, remember when we went to Japan with Aishin and Joe Rutinsky and his team, and we went to Aishin and we broadcast from Japan, and that's where we saw, I'm going to say, Toyota's individual personal vehicle. It was like a chair, and you sat down, and then it went back, and you went like this, and then it became a vehicle. And you would run around basically in your chair in this personal transportation vehicle. But what strikes me is the same thing that just struck me when I just said a single person vehicle. What is this? They don't want us traveling with family and friends, apparently. Well, family and friends would not get in an aircraft with me driving anyway. But maybe that's why all of these things are one passenger, one single person vehicles. But I guess that's what they feel that the need will be when we get to that.
How long before we would see something like that
I don't know.
let's say in downtown Detroit? Does it say, or is there any prediction?
Well,
it's pretty incredible.
From time to time, don't we see flying cars that, I mean, for years, haven't we occasionally? It's kind of like when we see the cars that go in the water, like a boat. From time to time, we see them, they drive into the water and we go, wow, that's really cool. But it's not like you're walking down.
In the movies,
In the-
I've never
well, in the
seen
movies.
a flying car. in my life.
We've seen flying cars. We might have been out the night before.
Yeah.
How long before we see Smith Camp, family, automotive, and flying cars?
Exactly.
I just don't know that we're close to that.
Think about
I don't-
Dana. She's going to have to worry about what's on the road and what's in the air.
And that's what I wondered about. If we're trying to get away from traffic on the ground,
Right.
aren't we going to create a traffic jam in the air?
Hello, somebody.
Believe me, stand by. Stand by. Of course, we'll have traffic jams in the air.
Right.
And sadly, we'll have mishaps.
Yeah.
It's like everything eventually catches up. I don't know why this comes to mind, but think about how cruise ships used to throw garbage in the ocean because the ocean was so big
Right.
Yeah.
and it didn't matter. So everybody's dropping off on my screen right now as I'm speaking. There you are. Cruise ships, they never thought about that being a problem. Well, of course it's a problem. Well, we've got junk in space now. We never thought that'd be a problem, but we have space junk that aircraft, other rockets, have to put into their plan to avoid being hit by the debris.
Right.
What used to be on the roadways, people throwing their bottles, which we learned not to do, but the trash, we got it in space. So you think we're going to have several cars, call them what you will, up in the sky and not have trouble? It's going to be a mess. But I'm still looking forward to it. It is 6:14 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Michelin Endurance Silicone Wiper Blades. Weather can be unpredictable. Be prepared with windshield wipers that can handle anything. Michelin Endurance XT Silicone Wiper Blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance, lasting 2 times longer. Michelin Endurance XT Silicone Wiper Blades, only available at Walmart.
I'm telling you again, one of the best things you can do that's so simple and not terribly expensive and changes everything is getting your wiper blades changed. And we don't do it enough. I don't know why, but it makes a world of difference. I'm glad we have them advertising that. All righty, we are going to take a look at our traffic and weather first on WJR with Dana Clark.
Now seeing a 15-minute delay just for trucks across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. Still watching a closure in Saline, Michigan Avenue, both directions eastbound and westbound between Campbell Road and Platte Road shut down there due to a multi-vehicle crash. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Warm up your floors with wool carpets from Reamer Floors. Save up to 30% on all wool carpets now January 31st, including top brands like Maslin Carpets and Rugs. Hurry, sale ends January 31st. Visit reamerfloors.com to schedule your shop at home or in-store appointment.
Keeping the clouds around and temperatures getting a little bit milder here today and tomorrow. Approaching front could bring in rain and snow back in here by Friday. Clouds in this morning, cloudy this afternoon, a southwest breeze 41. Tonight, cloudy and mild 31. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy 42. Little rain and snow around Friday with highs in the upper 30s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejcik on Newstalk 760 WJR.
All right, Ray, thank you. I think we're looking at about